All right, hey everybody, it's me. It's me, and it's time to talk a little bit about decompression. And now, a little while ago, I actually did a video I called it Decompressing After X Number of Hours in Xenoblade 3. And I really liked making that video. I actually really enjoyed it. Not like it was production quality was super high or anything, but I got to talk about something I really liked and, just vent some stuff, get it all out kind of thing. And I really, really enjoyed it, as I said. Um, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this as an actual video series to talk about some stuff that is both Wotv and not Wotv related, because I am more than just a Wotv player. I actually do love playing other games. And the whole time that I've been kind of thinking about, what would this series look like? And, I think it's just me playing some games. And so this is not like going to be super edited or anything. This is essentially just me talking about what I want to talk about for a video. Like, that's all it is. It's not anything special. It's not anything that you should take too seriously. It's kind of a little bit of random thoughts about certain things. Like, you can see right below me, because this is the first video and I haven't really, it's going to be very fluid. Sometimes we're going to be playing a randomizer. Sometimes we're going to be playing, something else and just talking about a bunch of stuff. So yeah, that's what the decompression video is. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to leave some constructive feedback about it. The only thing I'll say is that if you are going to talk with me about certain things, like, number 3, maybe you want to talk about Edgerunner a little bit, try and keep the comments to me generally vague, not specific spoilers at all. Just in case somebody's reading the comments, because, maybe some people will come in here for the first little section or the second section, and you can skip ahead to the section you want by looking for the time codes. I'm going to be keeping track of that, making notes on my my little notebook here. So yeah, I'm going to try and make this a video series, see how it goes, and yeah, we're going to start roughly about the 3-minute mark. I'm just going to play a little bit of Link to the Past because I really love Link to the Past. And it's pretty comfy. I don't really need to think too terribly hard about what I'm doing. But, anyway. So let's go. We're going to go at the 3-minute mark and start on our first topic. All right. So the first topic today is Halloween Lucia and videos. And I want to talk about this from the perspective of a YouTuber and a person who plays a Wotv. And, over the last year, I feel like my viewership has gone down, even though it feels a lot of times like, oh, well, view numbers have stayed okay and whatnot. Because I've said before that, I play Wotv. I play Wotv, and I do this mainly as a hobby. I like to try and help people, give people a heads up, give people information. That's just something I like to do. And with that, I mean, like, while that is always the nice kind of goal, it does feel like sometimes like you really do need to be first. Like, I know people, like, accuracy, of course, is always something that's incredibly important to me, but sometimes, it's exciting when you get a new piece of news and you want to make that video because you want people to know. Like I've done, and specifically this is about Halloween Lucia, because Halloween Lucia is out on JP, not out on global, and I had been doing some video content for her and did some stuff, but there was a big change to do with one of her abilities, and in the rush to get that video out last night, it was the end of the night, I just came off streaming, which is, it sounds like an excuse, and it kind of is, but it is the situation that I just hit the point of, like, I need to get this video out, I want to get it out before bed, and in it, I made a mistake. I made a mistake in, I think, what I was talking about, and I tried to edit it, but it got a little bit of, when I found out that I had made a mistake. It wasn't specifically the AI that was the problem. It was manual play. It set a bad precedence with the ability Misery Toad. And so that's why they were changing it. And they were going to be very careful about what they were going to put in the game going forward and everything, which, you know, I have thoughts about that of being like, well, Misery Toad, it being it's just such a cool ability. Like, I love everything about it, changing an opponent to a toad and then attacking. It's great for a Halloween themed unit, but it was there was problems with it, and I think even the change that they're going to do will still affect the gameplay overall. But in my rush, I really wanted to get that video out, not just for views. Um, like it's the thing where if you're monetizing your videos on YouTube or doing a Twitch stream, of course you want to make money. That's an added bonus. Like, I do this as a hobby, and I do this as like because I really do enjoy helping people. But at the same time, you know, I also really in like making money. It is a benefit to doing this. It allows me to do some extra things on weekends and you know, it motivates me a little bit more. But, you know, it does motivate you sometimes in a wrong way too, of just being like, oh, I want to get this out. You know, I want to be first and whatnot. And in doing that, you know, sometimes things happen. We're all humans. Humans make mistakes, provided nobody got hurt. But to the extent of that, I do want to shout out Wotv Diver, who caught me on the mistake and does really great work. And I sometimes, you know, when I'm just panicking, like it's like the end of the night, I can't record a video because I'm in a apartment complex, and there are people who live left, right, and above me and below me who want to get sleep. It's like I can't re-record that video and I can't do it, and that makes me feel really frustrated. You know, it does affect my sleep. It's weird to say that, but it does affect my sleep because I'm, you know, lying in bed kind of just being like, if only things could have been a little bit different. I could have been more accurate. And it's not the end of the world because it is a video game, and video games are meant to be fun. But, you know, I do want to make sure that I have good relationships with the community, and, you know, it doesn't really overly benefit me to be unfactual or make mistakes. But, you know, I want to be a little bit careful about what I say and what I do, but I also want to get that content out, and that's the thing. Like, YouTube pushes you, and Twitch pushes you, you know, be first, be best, and all of that. So, you know, at the end of this segment, God, Halloween Lucia, man, like, she's a really cool unit, and actually did pull for her and got her, which, and that'll show up in other videos coming up. But man, oh man, it's just kind of a cursed month for me in terms of playing Wotv, just between pulls and whatnot. And I don't know, not much else to say. Then I'll try and be better in the future, and still learning. And it was just caught me off guard. And heck, man, at the end of the day of working 8 hours and then streaming for a bunch of hours, I'm tired. So next up, I want to talk about Intervisions, because Intervisions has kind of disappeared. It's kind of gone away for a little bit. And I know that people liked it. It was a lot of fun, but it was also a considerable amount of work. Not in terms of the setup, because I'm usually pretty good about being intelligent. Not to be boastful, but I really do try and set up my recording setup to be very, very efficient, because I just being efficient. I don't like wasting a ton of time. People who do editing are incredible, because editing takes a lot of time and a lot of care and a lot of patience, at least as far as from my experiences. But for me, I just like doing it all in one setting. It's one of the things that makes me who I am as a video recorder, and both require a certain amount of skill. Not to toot my own horn, but it does feel like that sometimes. And Intervisions, the really hard part is just trying to get people available, because humans have their own schedules, their own lives, and man, oh man, as fun as it was to do Intervisions, it was work to set it up and think of topics and try and be interesting and relevant and do something fun and cool. But yeah, getting people, creators, and this is not a knock against creators, a lot of cool people, awesome people on it. Intervisions is just kind of on permanent hiatus for me, because as much as I love doing it, it does have the issue for me right now of it's hard to organize and it's hard to find a time when people were available. And over the last little while, I feel like I've really, like, I don't know where everybody is so much. It's gone really silent from some people. And, you know, some people have moved on from playing Wotv. Some people are taking breaks from Wotv. Some people are coming back to Wotv. So it's all over the place. But I really haven't felt like I've had a good handle or grip on doing an Intervisions for a while. So that's just more of a general, I'm sorry, you guys, that I can't do it as much. I am thinking of things to always to do for content and whatnot, but a lot of the times some green lights just get reddened, and who knows, maybe we'll get an Intervision. Maybe some people watching this video will talk to some content creators for me and see if they want to be on Intervisions. That would be cool, because help is always appreciated for a one-man operation, and I am a one-man operation. I do everything by myself. I don't have a content manager or a community manager or anything like that. And yeah, that's just the way it is right now. But to talk about something else, I do want to do a betting special this year. And I think I talked to Diggs a little bit about it, just tentatively. And Diggs is really cool. He's always on board for that kind of stuff. So I am hoping to get something like that set up in the next little while and recorded, and it'll just be kind of fun and uploaded. And you know, it's a fun thing, man. Third anniversary is coming up. I'm really looking forward to it. Would love to do a multi live stream again, but again, depends where the content creators are for that kind of stuff and when the live stream's announced. So yeah, that's it. And I'm just quickly, we'll call it about 13. All right, so next up, I think I'm done talking about Wotv, because, you know, Wotv is a game that I play, and but I like doing other stuff. I've been enjoying watching a lot of animes so far this fall season. You know, Spy Family, Gundam have been really good. I've even been watching Sentetsu, I think it is, the Secret of Mana series. Or is it Legends of Mana? I'm not super familiar with that series, but I've been watching that. But two TV shows I've actually taken the time and actually kind of gone out of my way to watch were Edgerunner, the cyberpunk game, and Rings of Power, which is the Lord of the Rings by Amazon, which honestly, coming up to its release, I was not excited for it at all. Like, not even a little bit. I do like Lord of the Rings. I love the film trilogy by Peter Jackson. I've watched it a bundle of times, and I'll probably watch it a bundle more before I shuffle loose the mortal coil. Die, because you know, I messed that up. Okay, it's a little distracting playing a game at the same time. But Rings of Power I ended up watching, and I really ended up enjoying it a lot too, because it was really interesting to watch through. I liked a lot of the characters. It took a little bit of time to settle on it. And you know what? I've seen the Silmarillion, and I know people who have read the Silmarillion, And it just doesn't seem like a book that translates really well into a series. Cool, absolutely like nerd lore, cool. Because, you know, you're getting just a lot of stuff, but you know what? I actually just like Rings of Power. I'm not afraid to say it. Just kind of building my way up to it. I do like Rings of Power. It was awesome. Or at least good enough that I really enjoyed it. Like, it was a fantasy. It had a little bit of atmosphere, and it had some big story moments, and it felt cool. There were some really good acting in it. And I know that there were quite a few people, it seems, that just didn't like it, and, you know, to each their own kind of. But I really actually enjoyed that series a lot because I liked the whole thing with Mordor and Galadriel, and who certain characters ended up being, and certain mysteries and whatnot. And you know, for a series that has no connection in, like, it's not made by the same people, I honestly think they did a fair job trying to match it to the movies. Like, you know, not perfect, obviously, because, well, you just can't do that, right? Like, you have legal issues and everything. Like, New Line owns the rights to the films and The Hobbit kind of thing, and this is its own thing. And to that extent, you know, I like that it was like somewhere in the middle. I don't know, it just ended up working for me, and I had fun watching the series. But Edgerunner was better. Edgerunner made me want to play Cyberpunk for like the fifth time, and like a fifth time with a fair amount of hours put into it. Like, honestly, just a great, fantastic story. If you haven't watched it, like the Lord of the Rings project, like, I get it. Some people are going to be like, nah, it's not for me. I think it's unnecessary. You know, adaptations always have changes in them. And to that extent, yeah, I mean, Lord of the Rings has adaptations, which make it far more difficult to recommend because some people are more purist, which to me, it's like, if you want the book exists. Book exists. You're never going to get a perfect kind of thing where it's like, oh wow, this is such a perfect representation. Even though the Lord of the Rings, the Peter Jackson movies, did have changes from the books that I remember some people not liking. But I don't know. I recommend Lord of the Rings to people because it's like, you should at least give it a fair shake. Probably because you have a Prime subscription, but if nothing else, I think there's some people who worked on it who really did a fairly good, you know, really good job. I'm being very careful with my words on this, but I liked it. Edgerunner I loved, and Edgerunner was kind of just amazing how well it actually worked, and it's amazing how much it's revitalized cyberpunk. Like, there are people who played cyberpunk before, but it's, you know, the numbers shot up on Steam and whatnot. More people were just playing it, and I agree. I really like cyberpunk even before it was popular. Ha 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 ha. Jokes aside of just being like, no, I liked it before it was cool. What a great little series with some awesome, memorable characters, made by a great animation studio, because the animation quality is top notch. But yeah, just really love that series. Don't know if it's a series I'm going to be able to watch too much because, spoiler alert, Night City doesn't really have happy endings for a good number of people in it. So, you know, that's always a consideration if you're not super into it. But up until that point, it's really good, and I really like it. And I guess I've gone somewhat light on the spoilers because I think people should watch both of these things. But you know what? There's a loud sect of the internet that loves to shit on things. And you know what? It's really, really easy to destroy, and it's really, really easy to criticize. But in the life of a critic, sometimes you forget how much sway you have over people. And honestly, I recommend watching both of them. If you can have an open mind. If you're just in it to hate on it, you know, maybe find something more constructive to do with your energy. So I think we'll call it about 2030 for that segment. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do it, but at the same time, it's just like, I am playing a game, so I need to make some notes. And now I just want to talk, to end this video, about content expansion, specifically to do with the channel, because my YouTube channel is mostly a Wotv channel. I mean, it's partially my bad for not uploading as much Hearthstone content or, you know, other stuff that I really, really want to kind of do. I've been pretty good about the DO field. I have a few DO field videos even still that I just haven't put public yet. And I'm going to do Chapter 7 live on stream to finish off the game. Still really enjoying that game, but there's a couple other things. I'm trying to get a few more games in the rotation for doing extra content because I'd like to expand a little bit, so my channel is not just Wotv, not just so reliant on Wotv. Like, I'm never going to be a pro Splatoon player, but, you know, covering some other games, pretty fun. And so, in terms of the content that I'd still like to get some more, I'd like to get some more card game stuff up, specifically about Hearthstone, because I still enjoy playing that game, even if it does end up being frustrating and losing always sucks and losing always will suck. But doing that, but Marvel Snap is also out now, and I'm kind of interested in doing that as a game too. And I'd like to make something a little more structured in terms of like doing what doing specifically. Like, I wanted to do a weekly kind of Splatoon video, because I know some people here who, you know, are super interested in Splatoon, and they're like, oh, would you want to do some Splatoon content? And sure, why not? I mean, I own the game, and I have its online Switch subscription. It's just kind of been knocked out of me because, oh, guess what? The Switch the connectors on my Switch are not super great. I'm not going to buy a Switch OLED because theoretically next year there's going to be a new Switch maybe, and it just doesn't feel like the right time. Not the right time to buy. But just in case that's the case, I don't want to spend any money on like a Switch OLED just for a new Switch to come out. Not that it would be the easiest thing to get your hands on, but different story, different thing for a different time to talk about. There's no hearts here. Yeah, I'm interested in getting some more content on the channel that is a little bit different. Still doing the Wotv content because it is my main draw for my channel. But, you know, hopefully also being able to get a little bit more maybe just get a little more viewership on some different stuff. I mean, the thing is, as a streamer slash YouTuber, what you kind of get typecast a lot of time. Like your viewership is interested in that specific thing, right? And as such, you know, you want to, and we're just doing old dungeons maybe or something. Whatever. But yeah, not getting distracted. I think it's in my best interest as a content creator to keep doing the main thing, but also look into doing some other things and covering some other games and becoming a little bit more variety, because it can just benefit you to be a little more varied in your content. It makes you more interesting. Streamer makes you kind of more interesting than just doing Wotv. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, I'm looking at what exactly I want to kind of do for content, and DO Field is something that I'm going to finish. The problem being that, boy oh boy, does that game not do well in sales, which means that there's no modding community, which means that essentially what you see is what you get, and that's okay. I mean, it really is. Because it's a fun game and I enjoy playing it, but at the same time, it's not going to be what I hoped it was going to be. I was kind of hoping it was going to be pick up in popularity and maybe it would have a community around it, but it really doesn't. It didn't get as much exposure as it needed to, or it probably unfortunately needed even the Final Fantasy title on it. But that's another decompression that I'm going to do when that's all said and done. I'm just thinking about really, like, how do I improve the channel? How do I improve my content? How do I become better as just a content creator and making more stuff that people actually enjoy? And what does that look like for the future of my channel if I'm going to keep doing this? And at least for now, I'm going to kind of keep doing it. But, there is always that thing of just being like, well, do I do it like this? Do I not do it like this? Is this worth the time of recording it and putting it up and, making a title card and all of that? Because, again, at the start of the video, I said, I really do try and work this to be as efficient as possible, but it's still a time eater. Not to oversay it, but working multiple stuff is just really tricky. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the end of this video. I'll just play a bit at the end here. Just to kind of get to a certain point where, maybe I can continue this in another video or whatnot. This is the bonus section where I talk about how much I love this game still. Link to the Past is one of the greatest video games ever. Now this is, I could go up, I guess. We'll do the bomb jump. The bomb jump always looks cool. It's like people are like, whoa. It's also really easy to set up. But yeah, I mean, like, this game is just tons of fun. I love randomizers because it's a little different. Familiar but different is a good place to go. As I almost get myself in trouble there. One of those things I haven't played in a little while, so I've actually lost a little bit. Oh, good. Of practice playing this game. Because practicing this is actually, like, really, really important. Like, you don't forget how to do certain jumps and moves and whatnot. I mean, I love playing randomizers. It's so fun. This really is one of the best games of all time. Fight me on it, sure, why not? We have one more check we're gonna do at the end of this video, just in case it's something important. I actually fairly decent start. We have a good amount of stuff. Thank you. Oh. Bonk. Bonk. It was not. Anyway. Yeah, that's kind of the state of this decompression video. 30 minutes, but you know, if the time codes are there, I think it'll be relatively easy for people. And I'll be doing more of these in all varieties, whether it's, you know, talking about a game I've beaten, or a TV series, or a movie, or just Wotv content, whatever I want to talk about. But yeah, thanks. If you made it this far, if you watched the whole video, give yourself a pat on the back for being awesome. And I think, yeah, I definitely will. Thanks for watching. See you next time.